Let us bring in Byron Dorgan. He's former Democratic senator and congressman from North Dakota, along with George LeMieux, former Republican senator from Florida. A lot being said about the president's speech, not the least of which, Senator Dorgan, was that he looked exhausted, he looked tired, according to some people who saw that. Understandable, considering there's been a major situation going on in this country. But was the tone appropriate? Did you feel he might have wanted to come out a little bit stronger?
Well, I know that there are some who wanted him to wave his arms and shout and get loud and so on. But the fact is, I think he did what he wanted to do. He wanted to try to reassure the country, explain exactly what the mission was and what they were trying to do. And let me also say that, you know, those that are critical, this is a very serious issue for the country. No question about that. This is war. But, you know, the sounds from some on the other side in the middle of the white-hot campaign is, let's bring back waterboarding, let's carpet bomb the desert, let's go after the families of ISIS members. That stuff is thoughtless. What I'd like to see is ideas that are better than the president is using at this point, if they exist out there, specific ideas, other than sending more armies to the Middle East and planting more flags in the sand. We need leadership, no question about that. We need to provide leadership in the Middle East, but I don't think you do that by providing more American boots on the ground. Senator
LeMieux, what are the better ideas here? We know that the candidates are weighing in right and left. Donald Trump tends to do the verbal waving of the arms and saying we need a new president stat. Very few ideas, 140 characters. It's a little tough, but he also was questioning the president, mentioning that, you know, we've got Muslims as our neighbors, Muslims as our sport heroes. And he was saying, well, what sports heroes? Well, I guess Donald Trump didn't remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Muhammad Ali, but that's all icing. That's all fancy lace on the sides. Where's the real issue, the real idea, beyond the Lindsey Graham concept of just piling in some boots on the ground?
Well, I agree with my friend Senator Dorgan that it is a serious problem. What I didn't hear from the president was those new ideas. It was really more of the same. And I think what the American people want to know is that we've got a plan to kill these radical Islamic terrorists who are threatening our country and killing our people. I like Jeb Bush's idea of establishing a no-fly zone. That would allow Syrians who are running for their lives to go someplace that's in country, that's secure, prevent all of this migration, let us stabilize Syria. We need to tell the Russians and the president's new friends in Iran that they've got 90 days to get Assad out of that country so that we can stabilize it. And then we need to do the work of bringing in special forces. If we would have kept that base in Iraq that we should have kept when the president couldn't get the status of forces agreement signed, I think that would have been a big help. Now that there's new government in Iraq, I think we should revisit that and see if we can get a limited base in Iraq where we could have advisors and special forces to help those troops on the ground. We've got to kill these terrorists in Syria and Iraq before they kill people in this country, and they got to stop putting up wins. The reason why we had this San Bernardino copycat crime is because they are emboldened by what happened in Paris and other places. So let's take the fight to them. Let's build this coalition. Let's have a real coalition, not just a paper one, and get it done.
To that end, Senator Dorgan, we just had Michael Balboni, former head of Homeland Security for the state of New York, here and said, why didn't the president, among the other messages he felt he had to get out, just simply say, we're going to bring in more FBI boots on the ground here in the United States. It takes more than 7 FBI agents to follow or conduct surveillance on a single suspicious person here in the U.S.
I don't know why that wasn't a part of his address. I fully expect that'll be the case. In order to track the folks that have come into this country and who we're concerned about, you need a lot of resources.
And by the way, that picture that we just showed were those 2 suspects coming in to the United States together, she on a fiancé visa.
Yeah, I saw that photo. I mean, it's chilling. But let me just also say to George, the fact is we now have France and England very aggressive in the air campaign, among other things. Ultimately, we need, as leaders, we need to look to some of the Arab communities in the Middle East to begin to solve this problem as well.
They should do it.
I don't think it can be solved by us, by England, by France. We need the Arab communities in the same region to help resolve this issue.
George LeMieux, quickly, we've got about 20 seconds.
Well, I agree, and they should be helping more. They haven't been, but at the end of the day, it's going to take American leadership. And we need a president who's going to lead. And right now, unfortunately, I don't think our president is showing that kind of leadership.
Senator George LeMieux, Senator Byron Dorgan, very much appreciate you coming. Thank you.